Hi y'all, this is Debbie Arnold with Dining with Debbie. I have a real quick one for you today. A lot of us have an abundance of basil in our gardens right now, and other herbs too. I'm going to show you a trick that I do that I use all year long. And in keeping and using that abundance of basil that I have, I just can't stop planting it, y'all. I just love it that much. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is we're going to infuse some olive oil with some basil. And that infusion means that you're just going to blend those flavors together. The first thing we're going to do is heat up some olive oil. And I'm using about 2 cups of olive oil. That's plenty for this pot that I have, because when we add the herbs, that basil, it's going to kind of foam up and spew up a little bit. You can make more if you want to use a larger pot. I've already made quite a bit, so I'm not doing a whole bunch this year. Let me get my basil. So the basil I just picked from the garden. It's good and dry, and you want to make sure that that is the case. I'm leaving its stems on, everything. It's clean. It was just watered, so I know it's good and clean, and it's good and dry. I'm going to heat that olive oil up, and I'm using olive oil, not extra virgin olive oil either. You want to save that for your salad dressings and anything where you might be using, where you really want the flavor of the olive oil to come out, but you don't want it to overpower. Olive oil by itself is really good to infuse and to cook with, and that kind of thing. And we'll talk more about the difference in the two and what the presses are and all that kind of stuff later on as we go on. Anyway, we're going to heat this up, not until it's smoking, but till it's really good and warm, really good, almost hot. But then we're going to turn it off before we put our basil in there. Otherwise, you will have one holy mess all over your stove if you're not careful. What I do with this is, once I have put the basil in to the olive oil, and I'll put the lid on the pot, I'll let that cool down completely. And then I will strain it through a strainer that I have lined with paper towels, or a coffee filter works really well. I strain that into a large measuring cup, okay? And then I put it into, let's see what I've done with it. I put it into, hold on a second, let me get that. Here it is. Sorry. Nice close up. I put it into little containers like this, and then I keep it in the refrigerator. When I want to use it, I will set it out on the counter, and it doesn't take any time for it to come to room temperature. A lot of times, even if I know I'm going to be using a lot during the week, and you know, I cook just every day, so I keep 1 container of it in the cabinet near my stove, not so that it gets the heat, because you don't want that to happen. And I keep that, and then when I need olive oil in the pan, if I'm going to saute onions, or if I'm going to start a sauce of some kind, and I know I want that basil flavor in there, I just use that oil to do my sauteing or whatever in. And it's so nice to have. I do the same thing with garlic. I do it with rosemary. Any kind of herb blend that I might want to, using those fresh herbs from the garden. And then I have it all year long. And we'll talk soon about what you do with vinegar too. And that's such a nice thing to have. All right, my oil's good and warm, okay? I'm going to take my basil now, and I'm going to turn off my stove, turn off the fire, okay? Because I don't want that oil to boil over onto the fire. I'm going to turn that off, and I'm going to get my lid ready. I'm going to put my basil in, and then I'm going to immediately put the lid on, okay? Because if it's really too hot, if you've gotten it too hot, and that's going to boil over, you don't want that to happen. So make sure that it's not way too hot. You want that warm oil to take in those flavors of the basil. You want to let that sit there until it completely cools down. Then you're going to strain it. Then you're going to store it in your little jars, or I use these things all the time. They're cheap, you can buy them. And I usually label, the label's about off of this one, but I don't know how you get it permanently on there. But anyway, and keep it in my refrigerator, and you use it all year long. use up the bounty of your garden. Enjoy it while it's fresh, but then allow yourself to enjoy it all year long in certain simple little ways, just like this. This is basil-infused olive oil. I also use it in vinaigrettes, salad dressings as we go along through the year. So I hope you have a great day. I've got a really good recipe coming up for you tomorrow you don't want to miss, and Gary's going to be grilling chicken. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here, and I really appreciate you joining with me. I hope you attend some kind of worship service in the morning, either online or if you're daring so, or your church is open in person. Gary and I have been, listening online, and I asked our friend, Greg Kirksey, who is a pastor at Rock Creek, has been a friend of ours for a long time, friend and neighbor, and I asked him the other day, I said, can I still come to church in my pajamas like I've been doing over the past several months? I'm not sure he saw any humor in that, but that's okay. He knew I was teasing. Anyway, I hope you have a blessed day. Enjoy your Friday evening, and enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your family. Cook something together. Enjoy a family meal together. And I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for coming here. Bye.